Are you making the millionaire mistake that keeps most people stuck for life? According to Fidelity, the average investor spends over a decade just reaching their first $100,000. But what if I told you that, mathematically, this milestone catapults you more than a third of the way toward millionaire status? If you have ever wondered why your investment account does not seem to budge, or why hitting seven figures feels impossible, pay close attention. I am about to show you the exact math behind what I call the $100 per week millionaire path. In the next few minutes, I will break down the costs, timelines, and surprising shortcuts, using real numbers and data, so you will know exactly how far along you really are and what you need to do next. And think $1 million is out of reach. By the end of this video, you will see why the first $100,000 unlocks everything, and how you could potentially reach $1 million using steps anyone can follow. Let's kick off with a confession. I spend a borderline ridiculous amount of time thinking about money, compounding, and why the majority of people never escape the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. If you are tired of the guessing game and actually want to know how true wealth building works, the math, the steps, and the timeline, make sure you hit subscribe to Money Masters. And if you catch yourself in any of today's examples, drop a like so I know I am not alone. Now, here is where nearly everyone stumbles at the starting line. Most people imagine getting rich as a straight climb. Each dollar saved brings you precisely $1 closer to your goals. It sounds logical, right? Save $10,000. You are $10,000 closer. Save $50,000. That is $50,000 more. But this kind of linear thinking is a wealth killer. Because, in reality, the path to seven figures is anything but straight. It is not just slow at first. It often feels punishingly slow. That is why so many people lose hope before compounding gets a chance to do its work. Let's make this concrete with numbers. According to Fidelity, the average American taking a disciplined approach to retirement investing takes about 10 to 12 years to reach the first $100,000 in investments. Imagine this. You put in $100 every week, roughly $400 per month. For most working adults, that is the cost of a few dinners out, your streaming services, and maybe those coffee splurges combined. Still, 12 years to hit $100,000 sounds brutal, does it not? But hang on. As you will see, that pain sets up all the magic later. At this first step, most of the money in your account is from your own hard work. In fact, out of that $100,000, approximately $62,000 comes from your weekly contributions. The remaining $38,000, that is compound growth beginning to stretch its legs. It is not game-changing yet, and if you only focus on this number, it is easy to think, this is going to take a lifetime. Oh. Here is the core of the $100 per week millionaire path. Step 1. Laying the foundation. Hitting your first $100,000. It is the toughest slog. Most people quit right here. But this is the make or break points. By building this base, you set up the snowball effect that does the real heavy lifting as you move forward, where progress check. $100 per week. Invested at an 8% annual average return. Reaches $100,000 in about 12 years. $62,000 contributed. $38,000 grown. Sources: Fidelity Investments. 2023 Retirement Analysis. S&P 500 Rolling. 30-year average. Morningstar. If this is describing your journey, slow progress, grinding away for years, smash that like button. We are in this climb together. Now, here's where most people make the critical mistake. They assume the next $100,000 will take just as long or longer. But this is not how exponential growth works. Enter Step 2, doubling to $200,000. Compound interest takes over. With the same $100 per week, it only takes about 6 additional years to double from $100,000 to $200,000. That means 12 years for the first $100,000. Just 6 for the second. Let that sink in. Over 18 years, you have put in $94,000. But your account now stands at $200,000. Here's where the math gets exciting. $106,000. More than half your wealth, and came solely from compoundings. At $200,000, you are not 1/5 of the way to $1 million. You are halfway there in terms of compounding acceleration, sir. Why? Because with every year, your invested balance works harder for you, and every dollar brings its own future returns. Progress check. Milestone 2 on the $100 per week. Millionaire path. $200,000 after 18 years. $94,000 contributed. $106,000 from investment growth. Think this is fast. Wait until you see what happens after $200,000. Because the next leap is when compounding starts to feel unfair. But before we get there, let me introduce a real-world example. Let's spotlight Jane. Jane started her journey at age 26, sticking to the script. $100 a week automatically funneled to a total market index fund. She hit $100,000 at age 38, just as the averages predict. Even while riding through market dips in 2008 and 2020, she kept going. By age 44, she broke $200,000. The kicker. After the $200,000 mark, her account began growing by $15,000 to $20,000 per year. With no extra effort or change in contributions. Jane's story, and thousands like it, proves that boring consistency beats quick wins, and that the psychological shift after $100,000 makes it easier to stay the course. Your results may differ, Past performance does not guarantee future results. Jane's path is for illustration only. Back to our path. Step 3. Hitting 7 figures. The millionaire milestone. If you stick with that $100 per week for 36 years, at an 8% inflation-adjusted return, you would wind up with over $1,006,000. Total dollars contributed at about $187,000. Total from market growth? Over $819,000. That means more than 80% of your eventual million comes from growth, not your deposited cash. Imagine earning $80,000 a year, almost the entire early journey's ceiling in a single year, just from your portfolio returns. This is the $100 per week millionaire path's tipping point. Compounding takes over. And your job is just to keep feeding the snowball. Progress check. 7-figure milestone at year 36. $187,000 contributed. $819,000 growth. Total $1,006,000. Source: Money Masters Model. S&P 500 50-year average. Inflation-adjusted and conservative. Drop a comment right now with your current milestones. $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. Or your next savings target. Our community celebrates progress at every stage. Now, for those thinking, John, this sounds great if the market cooperates. What about crashes? What about inflation? And what if saving $100 a week feels impossible? Let's address all three with facts, not wishful thinking. First, returns. Our 8% estimate is actually conservative and already adjusted for inflation. According to Morningstar and Vanguard's 2023 research, the S&P 500 has historically averaged over 10% before inflation, about 7 to 8% after, no guarantees, but the history is on your side. With the key caveat: long-term investing, not gambling. Second, market downturns. Yes, there will be rough patches. In 2008, the market dropped over 37%. But every time, it has recovered. In fact, people who keep investing weekly during downturns actually come out ahead. When prices are down, your $100 buys more shares. When the recovery hits, those extra shares supercharge your growth. Call it buying on sale. But you have to stay the course, even when it stings. If you have ever pulled money out after a drop and regretted it, comment below or share your story. Let's learn from each other's missteps. Third, affording $100 a week. Maybe you are thinking, that is impossible for me. But consider this. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household spends $600 per month on food alone. Cut this by just 25%, say, with weekly meal planning and reducing takeout, and you free up $150 a month, nearly the $100 per week target. The average new car payment is now a staggering $700 per month. If you drive a reliable used car instead, you could slice that number in half and redirect those savings. The opportunity is hiding in your daily habits, not just your paycheck. Later in the video, I will share a downloadable checklist you can use to track progress and find new savings. So stay tuned. If you are going to try at least one of these budget tweaks, post "I am in" the comments. As accounts grow, the psychological effect is profound. Watching your investments earn more in a year than you once contributed in 3 or 4 is wildly motivating. Suddenly, investing shifts from being a sacrifice to being a reward. This is step 4, accelerating with compound growth, feeding the snowball. Many viewers in the Money Masters community found that after reaching $100,000, they were inspired to boost their contributions. Maybe it is funneling some or all of a tax refund, or banking a raise instead of inflating your lifestyle. Some people, my subscribers included, start a side hustle or reallocate windfalls directly to investments. The real lesson is not just about numbers, but about the habits and mindset you build on this journey. The difference between those who reach $1 million and those who do not is not intelligence, luck, or even salary. It is consistency, patience, and a long-term view. Wealth grows slowly, then all at once. The first $100,000 is the slog, but it is what unlocks everything. Screenshot that framework. $100 per week becomes $100,000. Keep going to $200,000 and let compounding deliver the rest. Now, you might ask, what if you can increase your contributions over time? The math only gets better. Suppose you bump your $100 per week to $150 or $200 as your income rises. Or you take advantage of an employer's 50% matching on your 401k. That is a guaranteed boost before compounding even gets to work. Bonuses, inheritances, or side job earnings all further accelerate your path and put you well ahead of these projections. As summary, our milestones are based on the base $100 per week, never increasing. No lump sums, no matching. Most people will do better. The examples in this video are hypothetical and for educational purposes only. Past investment performance does not guarantee future results. This is not personalized advice. Always consult a licensed financial advisor before making investing decisions. Results depend on your risk tolerance, market conditions, and actions. Let's talk strategy. Most new investors worry, what should I actually invest in to follow this path? See, the answer is simpler than you think. For most, a broad market index fund does the trick. According to historical data from Morningstar and Fidelity, matching the market has worked better for the vast majority than trying to pick winners or time trades. The S&P 500's average return over decades, about 10%, with 7 to 8% after accounting for inflation, forms the backbone of reliable wealth buildings. Will the future match the past? No one can guarantee that. But betting on broad, consistent economic progress has outperformed most clever strategies. If you hear index fund and start to tune out, remember, boring investing makes more millionaires than any other strategy in history. Let's recap the $100 per week millionaire path as your step-by-step map. Step 1. Hit your first $100,000. Expect slow progress and embrace the grind. Step 2. Double to $200,000. Growth accelerates. Most gains now come from compounding, not out-of-pocket cash. Step 3. Hit $1 million. Let time and consistency take over. More than 80% of your future wealth comes from growth. Step 4. Accelerate wealth. Boost contributions with raises, windfalls, or matching. Let the snowball keep growing. Screenshot this framework or check the video description for my free downloadable checklist. Use it to track your milestones, log contributions, and plan future leaps. Before we close, here's why this journey matters. Reaching $100,000 is not just another checkpoint. It is proof you have mastered the discipline, habits, and mindset that power true wealth accumulation. You have learned to delay gratification, stay invested during downturns, and prioritize the future over basic wants. That is why Charlie Munger said, the first $100,000 is a burr. Well, you know the rest. Getting there transforms your relationship with money. Suddenly, you are able to take career risks, pursue business opportunities, or invest in real estate. Because you have built the financial safety net few people ever achieve. Most crucially, you will discover that as your money works harder, you can afford both freedom and flexibility, the genuine markers of financial independence. And if you are feeling impatient, remember this: the cost of waiting is massive. Every year you put off investing costs thousands in future gains you can never get back. Time lost is money lost. Start now, or your future self will wish you had. Where are you today on the $100 per week millionaire path? Drop your milestone or your next goal in the comments. Let's make this the most encouraging finance thread on YouTube. And do not forget, the checklist is linked below. Download it to keep yourself accountable and make each milestone feel like a win. What was your aha moment that made you get serious about investing? Share your story below. I read every single one. Next, I will be breaking down the exact index funds and portfolio allocations that have worked for thousands of Money Masters community members, complete with historical returns, fees, and risk profiles. So subscribe now and turn on notifications. Your path to $1 million does not start with luck or huge salary, Asir. It starts with $100 a week, a bit of courage, and a clear plan. Let us get after it. So, let's wrap up the $100 per week millionaire path with a quick recap and your next steps. First, we broke down how slow progress to your first $100,000 is completely normal and sets the foundation for all future gains. Then, you saw mathematically how compounding accelerates. $100,000 becomes $200,000 in half the time, and $1 million falls within reach, with over 80% of your future wealth coming from growth, not your paychecks. Your roadmap is clear. Lay the foundation with steady contributions. Even $100 per week is. Then ride the compounding wave through each milestone, using our free downloadable checklist to stay accountable and inspired. Here is how to start today. Immediate action. Track exactly where you are on the path. Use our checklist below. And look for one area in your spending. Food, transportation, or subscriptions where you can free up $25 a week. Short term. Commit to consistent, automated weekly investing for the next 90 days. Use any side income, tax refunds, or raises to boost contributions. Long term. Revisit your plan every 6 to 12 months, increasing contributions over time, and reviewing progress at each $10,000 or $25,000 gained. Use a tool like Personal Capital or Mint to automate tracking and spot trends. Remember, you will not see millionaire results in a month, but within the first 2 to 3 years, watching your investments grow faster and faster is its own reward. The acceleration will surprise you, and the milestone moments will change the way you see money forever. If you want to keep building wealth, download the free $100 per week Millionaire Path checklist right now. Link is in the description. Subscribe to Money Masters for weekly deep dives, including the next video where I will reveal the exact index fund portfolios used by thousands of successful investors. Do not forget to share your next milestone in the comments. Let's cheer each other on. And before you go, remember, these scenarios are for illustration and education, not tailored financial advice. Past investment performance does not guarantee future outcomes. Consult a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Your journey is unique. Make it count.